Live from the Music Center at Strathmore, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Committee and Montgomery County Executive Isaiah Leggett present the 20th Annual Martin Luther King Birthday Tribute and Celebration with your hosts, ABC 7 News anchor Leon Harris and from Fox 5 News, Micheline Bowman. And now, here is Miss Micheline Bowman.
You guys look great from up here. Y'all feel good? You happy to be here? Martin Luther King Jr. celebration here in Montgomery County. You guys are in for a wonderful, wonderful program. My name is Micheline Bowman. I work at Fox 5 News, Channel 5 here, and I've been given the privilege and honor to be your greeter, to welcome you here this afternoon. And I am so lucky that I have the opportunity to tell you a few housekeeping rules. You all know what? Cell phones. You're doing my job. Please turn your cell phones off or put them on silent. Everybody needs to check because you're that one person that says, I know mine is off, and then somebody else starts singing and everyone's turning around looking at the person behind them like, she has her cell phone ringing. Pictures. We know you probably want Instagram and Facebook and all that. They ask that, please, no photography, no flash photography, okay? That's easy, right? Cell phones and what else? Pictures. Come on, y'all, work with me, audience. Pictures. So again, turn behind you and say hi to the person behind you now because I don't want you getting mad because they're gonna be the person who forgot to turn the cell phone off, okay? See that? Y'all know that. So when they forgot, do what you're doing, laugh, or just give them the look, and then you laugh about it when y'all get out. But again, welcome to this program. Another honor I have been given is to introduce your MC for this afternoon. I watch him, even though I work at Channel 5. We get to watch other stations, we just don't tell. But I have the honor of watching him on ABC 7. And they gave me this little thing to read about him, but you guys have programs, right? So you already know, you already watch, because when you're in media, it doesn't matter. As long as you do your job, and they have me up here to introduce him, I'm honored, because I get to say, I watch you on TV. Because I'm not the person on the TV, I'm the person behind the scenes. But I think in media, it doesn't matter. We all work out and look out for each other. So today, what's the matter? I make you laugh. Huh? He's behind me. I know, it's okay. That's what I'm saying. He got jokes, right? So I have the privilege of introducing your where are you, man? See, he has jokes. Master of Ceremony for this afternoon. Again, you see him on ABC, Channel 7. Thank you, Leon, and you guys have a great time.
Thank you, Micheline. I love that. Yes, she does work at a competing station, but you know what? When your heart's in the right place, it don't matter where you work, right? All right, this is just such a great day. This is such a great scene to see all these people who are still coming in. My mom used to have a saying about Baptist churches. There's always room for one more. So we got people still coming in here, and we're going to fill this place up, and we're going to have a great time here today. Thank you all for coming here. Let's give you all a round of applause for coming here today. It is such a privilege to be here with you all here for the 20th anniversary of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday tribute and celebration. The less of me you see, the better, because we've got a lot to share with you, and let's get things started right now. Would you please join me in welcoming to the stage Ms. Yvonne Stevens, who is chair of the Commemorative Committee. Yvonne?
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I would first like to thank the members of the Montgomery County Commemorative Committee and the countless volunteers, public officials, and donors who have contributed their time and resources to making today's event possible. Each of you, along with today's honorees, truly embody the spirit of Dr. King's words that everybody can be great because everybody can serve. The theme of this year's ceremony is Celebrate, Serve, Remember. It is more than a collection of words. Rather, it is a call to action. We must continue to celebrate the impact that Dr. King's work has had in communities, halls of power, and in the hearts and minds of millions around the world. We must serve, for we are our brother's keeper, and our destiny as a people is inextricably linked. And we must remember that we are the bearers of Dr. King's dream and the keepers of the struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. Looking around our community, our state, our country, and our world today, we recognize that much progress has been made, but that Dr. King's dream remains largely unfulfilled. Dr. King famously said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." To conclude, I would like to share with you an excerpt from a message that was sent to the committee by a woman who, along with her husband, is working each day to advance Dr. King's dream. First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama. Quote, "Thank you for inviting me to attend your 20th anniversary tribute and celebration of Dr. King's birthday. However, it is with sincere regret that I will be unable to attend because of the constraints of my schedule and the volume of requests. President Obama has called on Americans to honor and celebrate Dr. King's life by serving others and pushing forth in the struggle towards a better future. Commemorating Dr. King's life is not only a tribute to his contributions to our nation and the world, but also a reminder that every day each of us can play a part in continuing this critical work. Michelle Obama. Today, and all the days to come, let us celebrate, serve, and remember the legacy of Dr. King's work and strive to do our part to help realize it for future generations. On behalf of the 2014 Commemorative Committee, I welcome you and invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Ladies and gentlemen, now would you please rise as we welcome the Montgomery County Law Enforcement Color Guard to present the colors, and also Ms. Tabitha Bullock from Advanced Church, who will sing for us the national anthem.
Colors, halt, left, face, shoulder, out, present, out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the red were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Out. Ready, two, right, face, forward, apart,
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please remain standing as we welcome Rabbi Dr. Steinlauf, President of the Interfaith Conference of Metropolitan Washington, for this afternoon's invocation.
Good afternoon. Peace is not the absence of war. It is the presence of justice. These words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. do not simply describe our human reality, but they call us all to be part of the sacred struggle for justice. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man who devoted his life to justice, was in the truest sense of the word, a man of peace. In the Torah portion read yesterday in synagogues around the world, we learn of the giving of the 10 Commandments. The sacred reaches out to us. It reaches out to all of us with a message of universal justice. We are all charged with the task of recognizing the humanity found in every human being and the responsibility of treating every human being justly. This message echoes throughout the ages and around the world, across cultures and religious traditions. This weekend, we celebrate the life work of Dr. King, a man of courage and action, a man of justice and peace. Today, we celebrate a taste of Dr. King's vision, a multiplicity of colors and ethnicities. In this place today, we are a vision of shalom, of peace. Out of our many backgrounds and beliefs, we are whole. We are one, affirming justice, celebrating our unity and our diversity. May the life of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the vision that we see in our assembly today inspire us to lives of peace and justice. And in this way, may Dr. King's memory and actions live on through each of us so that we will come to know a world of peace and justice in our lifetimes. And let us all say, Amen.
And you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, and I loved the rabbi starting off this afternoon by reminding us about the message of peace that today is truly all about. Nothing inspires thoughts of peace more than the voice of a child. And with that in mind, we will start the program right now with the voices of some incredibly special children. Please welcome the Cashel Elementary School Chorus under the direction of Jennifer Boyce. They will be performing Share the Dream. Cashel Elementary School Chorus. And Jennifer Boyce, thank you for that. And while you're putting your hands together, please don't stop now. Please welcome our host for this afternoon, Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett.
First of all, let me thank all of you for coming out, but I also want to thank and acknowledge Leon. Not only do we see him regularly on television, but he is a resident of Montgomery County.
Absolutely.
And he serves in so many capacities, helping our community in so many occasions. Let's give him a round of applause for all that he does. Thank you, Leon.
Man. Appreciate that, man.
Thank you. Was that wonderful? Let's give another round of applause for it. Let me just give you a feel for what today is like and why I believe and think Montgomery County is so special. Certainly, we're a large county, well over 1 million people and a large financial budget of about $5 billion, and we can do big and great things. But oftentimes, it is the small things that brings us together as a community. And today is really no exception to that. We started off this morning at the conference center with 1,200 people out for a breakfast, where our congressman from the 8th Congressional District, Chris Van Hollen, spoke in recognition of Dr. King. Between that time, over the next several hours, we've had thousands and thousands of residents come out, a broad array of residents throughout Montgomery County, participating in volunteer activities. We had almost 4,000 people at the conference center. Huge turnout at Silver Spring and in Germantown as well. And now we culminate that with this program this evening. This program certainly is a tribute, but it's also a celebration. So we want you to relax and celebrate with us. This county has been celebrating this way for well over 20 years, and we will continue to do so because I think it reflects the spirit of Dr. King. This is really not a day off. This is a day on, where you engage in service projects, where we're out to contribute and tribute to Dr. King. But it's also a day for us to reflect on those in need in our community. And we certainly have a great number of need in our community. So we can give back. That's a reflection of why this day is so important. But it could not happen without you in the audience, reflecting the values of this great community. And we are, in fact, a great community. So I want to acknowledge and thank all of you. Certainly, I want to thank the sponsors who helped make this possible. You have a list of those in the program. Thank the commemorative committee and all of those who've helped make this an event possible today. Right now, I'd like to present a proclamation to Ms. Stevens, so she step forward. Let's give her a round of applause. She's been serving very well for us for years. Proclamation, Montgomery County, Maryland. I'll call Council President Craig Rice to come forward as well. Whereas each year, Montgomery County government honors the life, the works, and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. at its annual tribute and celebration. And whereas Dr. King championed for civil rights and human rights for all people through nonviolence and collaboration amongst all people regardless of their race, color, religion, education, economic, or social status. And whereas the impact of Dr. King's work transcends time, and this commitment to service to others is reflected in this year's theme, Honoring the Legacy, Celebrate, Serve, Remember, and whereas we acknowledge that we stand on the shoulders of those who stood before us and walk on the paths laid down by the work of our ancestors' tireless hands and unbroken spirit. And whereas currently, Montgomery County can derive much from the fact that Dr. King made jobs, income, and housing the main goals of the Poor People's Campaign in 1968 as the second phase of the civil rights movement to address the limitations of our achievements. Now, therefore, do we, I, as Leggett as County Executive and Craig Rice as County Council President, hereby proclaim Monday, January the 20th, 2014, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day in Montgomery County. We encourage all of our residents to remember and practice Dr. King's principles and his teachings of nonviolent social change and equality for all. It is signed by me and Craig Rice this day. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I know you guys can do better than that. Good afternoon. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this is a great day. It's a great day to celebrate, and I have the honor of introducing some of our distinguished guests that have joined us, but I just wanted to say one quick thing and highlight for you that Dr. King's quote about life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are we doing for others? I hope that resonates with each and every one of you as you leave today. You're going to hear and see some great acts that are being performed, but more importantly, take that as motivation for you and each of you to take back to your own communities, to your own circles, and ask yourself, what am I doing for others? How am I making a difference? How can I help people? I'm going to introduce to you some people who have answered that call and who have decided that public service is their way of doing for others. And I'll begin with the Honorable John Sarbanes, U.S. Congress. The Honorable Chris Van Hollen, yes, you can applause. They're actually in the back. I know that we have the Honorable Doug Gansler, who's our Maryland Attorney General and candidate for governor. I think I saw him earlier. You've already heard from and seen our esteemed county executive, the Honorable Ike Leggett, and I know his wife is here somewhere as well. We have members of the County Council who I have the pleasure of serving with, beginning with our Vice President, Honorable George Leventhal, Phil Andrews, Roger Berliner, Nancy Florine, and Mark Elrich. So please give them all a hand. And Hans Riemer as well, I'm sorry. Thank you very much, all of my esteemed council members, for being here. We have some of our local officials that are here as well. We have the mayor of the city of Gaithersburg, who the county executive always touts as the best city in the world, and Honorable Sidney Katz, mayor of Gaithersburg. Thank you so much for being here. We also have some city council members from the city of Gaithersburg as well. Council member Ryan Spiegel and Council member Michael Sesma. Thank you. And I do believe I heard that we had one of our former county executives, the Honorable Doug Duncan. I heard that he was here. One of our former representatives who served us well in the U.S. Congress, the Honorable Connie Morella. We also have a number of ambassadors. Ambassador Curtis Ward, who's the chairman of the Governor's Commission on Caribbean Affairs and Jamaica's former ambassador to the United Nations. Thank you so much, Ambassador Ward. And then we also have Ambassador Joseph Bienvenu Charles Fo Atangana, who's the ambassador to Cameroon. So thank you very much, Ambassador Fo Atangana, for being here. And then last but not least, one of my favorite people when I serve on the Education Committee is our esteemed president of Montgomery College, Dr. Darian Pollard, who I think is with us as well. And of course, none of this would be complete without our NAACP, and so I want to thank Miss Anita Powell, who is the president of our NAACP, for being here. So folks, I apologize if I missed anyone. If I do, please don't blame me. But I did want to just say thank you again for being here today. You have taken the first step in answering the call, and I would remind you again that our work is still yet to be done. There's so much that needs to be done in your communities, and regardless of whether you decide to take an elected office role or whether you're being active in your community, making a difference in your community counts, what are you doing for others? Thank you so much.
Councilman, Chairman Rice is a little I'm not sure if he's bashful about this, but it's something that if I'm him, I'm bragging about this. I'm having a sign made that goes across the chest of every outfit I wear. He is a true representation of the achievement of the dream. He is the youngest African-American council chair in the council's history. Perhaps one of the youngest council chairs of a county this size and this wealthy in the country. So he is a true representation of what's possible. We also have with us, as he introduced, a couple of members of Congress I'd love to have come out and share some words with us. A couple of people who have done as much as anyone to make sure that my children, as a resident of this county, have had every chance to build the world and achieve the dreams of their own making. I want you to please welcome back to the stage Congressman Chris Van Hollen, Congressman John Sarbanes. Come on. These are two men who have done so much for all of our children in this community, and I personally want to thank you for that.
You, Leon. Thank you very much. And, well, let me thank Leon Harris. Leon, it's great to have you back in action, and thanks for all you do, both to bring us the news and for our community. Great to be here with the president of our county council, Craig Rice, and all the members of our great council, and with our county executive, Ike Leggett. And of course, with my friend and colleague from the United States Congress, John Sarbanes, who also represents part of Montgomery County right now in the United States Congress. I think we all know that this is the day that we rededicate ourselves to the mission and to the dream of Dr. King. And in doing that, we've got to look at ourselves in a mirror as a community and a country and see how do we measure up to those ideals in the areas of economic empowerment, equal justice under law, educational excellence, voting rights. And because of the struggles that have been made, we've come a long way. But as all our colleagues and all of you know, we got a long way to go. And the genius of Dr. King was he knew we had to do more than analyze the problem. We had to galvanize and organize and change. And that the one thing that we cannot allow ourselves to do is fall into complacency, because complacency is the enemy of progress. So we've made great strides, but working together, we know that we can help bend that moral arc of the universe a little bit more towards justice. As Dr. King said, it bends that way, but we all have to do our job in giving it a tug. So today, as we celebrate, let us also rededicate ourselves to giving a little bit more of a tug toward justice and progress on all the issues that are so important to all of us and to our kids and future generations. And now it gives me it's a great privilege to introduce to you my friend, my colleague, John Sarbanes from the United States Congress. John, thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is indeed a privilege to join with you in celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's life and legacy, his words and his deeds today, and we're looking forward to the wonderful performances that we're going to have. I want to congratulate County Executive Leggett and the County Council and the President of the County Council, Craig Rice, and all those who've made this service day here in Montgomery County something to be envied throughout the country. To have thousands of people coming out for a day of service is the best tribute you could possibly have to Dr. King, and I congratulate the county and the residents of the county for that endeavor. I also want to salute Yvonne Stevens, the chairwoman of the committee. It is not easy to pull these things together, and we're looking forward to a wonderful, wonderful program today, and we thank her and all the members of the committee. One of my favorite exhortations of Dr. King's was when he said that whatever your career, whatever career you choose to pursue, doctor or lawyer, teacher, whatever the vocation you have, he said, choose another avocation to go with it. Be a dedicated fighter for civil rights. He said that will enrich your spirit more than anything else possibly can. He said, make a career of humanity. It will make a greater person of yourself, a better nation of your country, and a finer world to live in. Dr. King understood that we have to grab onto our humanity, we have to hold it tight, we have to hold it dearly. And today, in this celebration, in the program that you're going to see in the voices of those young children, we see this idea of grabbing on and holding on to our humanity. So I appreciate the opportunity today to join with you in this tribute to a great American, Dr. Martin Luther King. Thank you.
All right, enough talking. Time now for something that's a lot easier on the eyes than any of us. Please, it is time now, and I hope you're ready for some jubilation. Would you please welcome some very, very special young ladies, performers from the Washington Dunhuang Guzheng Academy. They are here to perform for you a wonderful presentation called Jubilation. Dunwang Guzhong Academy from Washington. How about going from one end of the musical spectrum to the complete other? I want you to now meet a young man who is quite striking. I'll leave it at that. Just seeing him is going to take you back to the 60s. Should you please welcome, from Robinson High School in Fairfax, Virginia, Brett Walking Eagle for his interpretation of Hideaway. What I tell you, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me now in welcoming a group here who is going to present the Montgomery County Literary Awards. Please welcome the Honorable Sidney Katz, Mayor of Gaithersburg, the Honorable Isaiah Leggett of Montgomery County, Ms. Karen Acton of the Gazette newspaper, and Mr. Dennis Wilston, Corporate Advertising Director of the Gazette, and James Stowe of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Committee.
Dr. King said, people hate each other because people fear each other. And people fear each other because people don't know each other. And people don't know each other because they're often separated from each other. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2014 Montgomery County Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Literary Arts Awards are presented each year to students in grades K through 12 from across the county. Students are invited to participate by writing an essay or narrative or poem of 150 words or less using this year's theme, Honoring the Legacy, Celebrate, Serve, Remember, or about Dr. King himself, or the ideals for which he espoused. This award program was originated by the city of Gaithersburg and the Gazette newspapers, and we are pleased that Mayor Katz and the Gazette continue to join in support of this important countywide program. Our award committee selected the top 3 best entries. The winners are Kyle Dalrymple, grade 5 from Rosemont Elementary School. His teacher is Mr. Mark Wallace. Lila Katz, grade 6 from Powell Middle School. Her teacher is Miss Sarah Bartlett. And Star Howard, grade 8 from the Bullis School. Her teacher is Miss Sarah Roman. Ladies and gentlemen, our winners will receive a certificate of merit and a cash award from the Gazette newspapers. But now, we get the opportunity to hear them present their writings. First, we'll have Lila Katz.
One bird still calls. Within a sea of silent songbirds, one bird still calls. It has been hushed many times before, but no one can sink this bird's spirit. Birds flutter inside your soul, for they are dreams. Some dreams you follow because they will not stop calling. But if you silence them, you cannot follow them anymore. They sink to the bottom of your heart until you've pushed them down so far that they are gone. Only a strong dreamer can keep their birds calling, even after so many people have hushed them. Dr. King chased his bird, and his legacy is still honored today. Follow your dreams. Do not let anyone silence them. They are special and unique, like snowflakes in a storm. Who knows what will become of your dreams? There's only one way to find out. Follow the song of your heart.
Next up, we'll have Kyle Dalrymple. Kyle.
When I hear legacy, I think of a message left behind, an inspiration, and an example to follow. This is how MLK Jr. inspired people with his legacy that lives on. He was an equalist that fought against segregation because he believed that all people are created equal and should only be judged by their character and not by the color of their skin. He believed in peace and fought with words and not fists, even when he was beaten and jailed, showing that no matter the consequences, standing up for justice and equality is the right thing to do. America celebrates him every year, but I celebrate him daily by following his examples of peace and courage, hard work, helping, and serving others. I may not be MLK Jr., but I believe that one man can make a difference, character counts, and I can dare to dream and be different. Thank you.
The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a visionary, a trailblazer, and a servant for justice. His legacy is embedded in our American history as a remarkable orator that reached the heart, souls, and minds of many and changed their lives forever. I often think about what the state of our country would be if Dr. King never spoke of discrimination and inequality. Would the same possibilities exist for my grandparents and parents if Dr. King never countered the ideas of racism and wish for a better society? Would the lack of his presence impact on my life today, in 2014? Had Dr. King never rang the Liberty Bell for justice and freedom, it is safe to assume that the lives of all Americans would not be the same. I'm fortunate that I will never have to know how my life would be if Dr. King's dream was deferred. And I am so very fortunate that his legacy is preserved for a lifetime because he sacrificed his life so that our lives can have purpose. Dr. King will forever be celebrated and his memory praised for what he did to change the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, the certificate reads, in recognition and appreciation as winner of the 2014 Montgomery County Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Literary Contest. Your essay captured this year's theme, honoring the legacy, celebrate, serve, remember, as well as the ideals espoused by the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I want to express my congratulations and wish you much success in all your future endeavors. It is signed, Isaiah Leggett, January 20, 2014.
Congratulations, and thank you for being able to write more than 140 characters about something. Is it just me? I'm sorry as a parent. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please now join me in welcoming to the stage a lovely, lovely group of ladies here to perform a very special piece entitled Woke Up. Please welcome Song Rise. see, we've had kotos, we've had jazz, blues guitars, we've had a cappella. Now, how about something very special from Brian Lanier and his band? Brian?
How you doing? My time is very, very, very short, but I thought it would be appropriate to play Come Together because we all need to come together and make the dream happen, or actually to sustain the dream. The next song we're gonna play is an original tune. It's the title track of my latest CD. It's called The Eye of the Storm. I'm I'm going to dedicate it to not only Dr. King and his legacy, but all of the foot soldiers and ancestors and people that died that you don't hear about, that were key in the whole thing that make it happen. He didn't do it by himself. And nothing can change with just one person. One person can get it started, but it takes everyone collective, as a collective whole. So, check it out. Service announcement. I do have music available after the program. On the promenade level. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to slow things down and dig a little deeper with a performance, a spoken word performance by a very, very special young person. I want you to please join me in welcoming Renee Williams, who is going to be performing Drum Major.
Happy birthday, Dr. King. The Drum Major. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. believed within each of us is a drum major's instinct. We all want to be important. We all want to achieve distinction. We all want to lead the parade. Our first cry as a baby was a bid for attention. Young adults coined the phrase, "You do you, and I'll do me." And as adults, we quickly realize that praise is a sort of vitamin A to our egos. Dr. King believed the drum major instinct is a good instinct if used right. It's a good instinct if not distorted or perverted. It's a good instinct when used to be first in moral excellence and in service. Dr. King believed that each person is accountable for giving their very best. He stated, if you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a bush, but be the best little bush on the side of the hill. If you can't be a highway, be a trail. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it's not by size that you win or fail. Be the best at whatever you are. If it fell your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures, like Beethoven composed music, like Shakespeare wrote poetry, and Leontine Price sang opera. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. Honoring a person's legacy is impossible without knowing what was important to that person. Dr. King did not want his life's works overshadowed by his Nobel Peace Prize. He said, that's not important. He wanted to be remembered for trying to love and serve humanity. Yes, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a drum major, but he was a drum major for justice. He was a drum major for peace. He was a drum major for righteousness. If we are to honor Dr. King's legacy, we must realize life is not the sum of me, myself, and I, but life is the sum of our relationship with God and what we do for or against others. If we are to honor the legacy, we must help somebody as we pass along. We must cheer somebody with a word or song. We must tell somebody when he's traveling wrong. We must do our duty as a Christian ought, or King's legacy will be in vain. Yes, be a drum major, but be a drum major committed to marching in sync with the life of service provided by the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Honor the legacy, celebrate, serve, remember.
And with those words from the drum major for peace, the beat goes on here on our stage. Would you please join me now in welcoming Adele Clarice, who is going to come here and perform for us Freedom.
Hi, everybody. Can we make a loud noise for Dr. Martin Luther King? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. So this song I'm about to sing, it was written by Will Hogg, and the engineer was Frank Casey, and I worked it out with Lazar. He's a great guy, so it's my song. my special honor for Martin Luther King. Thank you. I have come here to tell you this. Martin Luther King, we've come to celebrate his life. His words have liberated people around the world. His words have liberated people around the world. His words have liberated, come on everybody, people around the world. His words have liberated people around the a father devoted to his children and children of the world. A peacemaker at home and overseas. Yeah. A minister to his flock and all who listen to him talk. He had faith when others failed. He fought for justice, not vengeance. Freedom, liberation, justice is what he left us. Power, together, let's fulfill his dream. Oh, freedom, liberation, justice is what he left us. Power, together, let's finish his work. The mountaintop and asked us to join him. He was a mirror to many all over the world. Yeah, he believed in love when others only saw hate. He took each step with faith, marching towards freedom. Justice is what he left us. together, freedom together. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, T-Boo, and thank you, everybody, for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome down to the stage Mr. Timothy Warner, Chief Engagement and Partnership Officer of Montgomery County Public Schools. He'll tell us a bit about the visual arts display.
Good afternoon. I greet you on behalf of Montgomery County Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Joshua Starr and the members of the Board of Education. From the Renaissance that took over Europe a number of centuries ago, and even that Renaissance that took Harlem by storm in the middle of the last century, the arts have been both a barometer for the time in which they were created and performed, and a social change agent, calling broad attention to the hopes, needs, and dreams of our society. In Montgomery County Public Schools, we're focusing on social and emotional learning for our students. We know that a broad arts education fosters hope, appreciation, and creativity, and serves as an important component in our students' development of their interpersonal skills, self-esteem, intuition, and reflection. On this day, we set aside to honor and reflect on our art and the legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm reminded that Harriet Tubman said that every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. Imagine that. Dr. King imagined a world of which few could have dreamed or imagined in his life and times. And what has that dream wrought for us? Well, through their art, our students are imagining just that. As you entered the Great Hall today, you passed by the artwork of over 100 Montgomery County Public School students created to commemorate the life and contributions of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They were created by students from Benjamin Baddocker Middle, Bell Elementary, Chevy Chase Elementary, Clarksburg High, Roberto Clemente Middle, Clapper Mill Elementary, Gaithersburg Middle, Kingsview Middle, Little Bennett Elementary, Ronald McNair Elementary, Northwest High, Ritchie Park Elementary, Carl Sandburg Learning Center, Twin Brook Elementary School, Watkins Mill High School, Julius West Middle School, and White Oak Middle School. We are so proud of our students. I'd like to recognize Linda Adams and all the art teachers for their work in helping our students create and display their work today. And at this time, I'd like to invite them and the students who participated in the art show to stand, along with their families, to be recognized. Congratulations to the MLK Junior Commemorative Committee and its chair, Yvonne Stevens, for their leadership in this year's celebration. And thank you so much for including our students.
We have so many talented young people in this county. As a matter of fact, we only have a little bit of time, but we're going to try to see if we can cram an hour's worth of talent in about 36 minutes. And we're going to start with a I'm just going to leave it up to his fingers to tell you how good he is. Would you please welcome Master Dennis Erickson? He is going to be performing on the piano a piece called Transilience. Dennis, what did I tell you before you came out here? I told you you were going to do what?
Aw.
See, now you're like my kids. You don't listen to me either, do you? I told him he was going to blow you away, but what I did not tell you was that Dennis wrote and composed that piece himself.
How about that?
See, I told you we have such an incredible pool of talent, of young talent in this county. You want to tell us what inspired you to write that piece?
I played a song by Albanese called Astrius, and there in the song, the technique he used was the left hand and the right hand weren't together, they were one after the other. And so I decided to use the same idea on my composition.
And you did it.
Yeah.
And you did it. Nice going. No. Give me left hand one. Left hand, right hand. There you go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Dennis Erickson a nice round of applause. Nice going, Dennis. Nice way to go, buddy. I'm sorry. That kind of thing amazes me. I can't even write with my left hand. Can you imagine that if you were told to write with your left hand for the rest of the week, would you be able to get through the week? No. And this boy can actually come out here and play like a master with both hands and a technique like that. Well, we also have, waiting backstage, another demonstration of technique and talent from here in our area. Something, again, that's very, very unique. And I believe we are now ready to share it with you. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome from Montgomery College, Tacoma Park, Silver Spring campus, Micheline Ewang. She is going to be performing Ikpore, which means freedom in Cameroon.
Yeah, he had a dream. Yeah. That freedom will rise in all mountains of America. Yeah. He had hope. Yeah. That we'll all be equal. Yeah, oh, yeah. We'll have the same right. Yeah, oh, yeah.
can't hear that kind of music and not move. Yeah, I know. I saw a lady over here just bouncing like crazy over here. I couldn't move because, unfortunately, it's not true. We don't all have rhythm. I can't. I can't. Ask my wife; she'll tell you. Right, Dawn? But isn't that wonderful? Again, what a great representation of what this county is all about. We've had everything. It's one of the reasons why I'm so proud when we left Atlanta and moved here, we specifically chose Montgomery County because it had such real diversity. Not on paper diversity. This is a county with real diversity, and I believe that all of our lives have been enriched, my kids especially. I'm so proud of what they become because of what they've been exposed to and who they have come to grow up with here in this county. And we're just getting a bit of a flavor of it here. And we're going to get some more. Because right now, we have with us today the Tacoma Academy under the direction of Lulu Mufumbu. They are going to be singing Somewhere There Is Love.
Somewhere there's love.
Welcome back to the stage for the presentation of the Children of the Dream Award, the Honorable Ike Leggett and James Stowe and Miss Yvonne Stevens.
The county executive and the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Committee recognizes each year in grades 9 through 12 a male and female or group or club who demonstrates outstanding character and community and school involvement as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Children of the Dream Award winners. Their activities may include a single project or an ongoing effort, but must not be a routine class assignment or school project or required community service. This year's recipients are Eki Alamuse, a senior at Poolesville High School, Malachi Stoll, a senior at Walt Whitman High School, and the Dance Marathon, a student group from Clarksburg High School. As they are receiving their awards from our county executive, let me just share that Eke is described as hardworking, conscientious, dependable, committed, intelligent, and meticulous, and is part of the Global Ecology Studies Magnet Program at Poolesville High School. This program is a field-based course of study that combines science and social studies. She is involved in a number of outside school voluntary activities, but enjoys most tutoring at the G.B. Thomas Learning Academy and her experiences in the distant learning program. This is Mom, by the way. Eki believes that working with at-risk students enriches her life, and in fact, she is enriching the lives of the young students she works with. She'll be furthering her education in a four-year college with a study focus in biochemistry and medicine. Eki. Malachi. Malachi is described as passionate and self-driven, and despite his dyslexia, succeeds in a very rigorous honors and advanced placement class curricula. Malachi was selected as one of 50 students to participate in the Emerging Leaders Program based on his earned reputation with faculty and staff at Walt Whitman High School. This program provides an opportunity to be mentored by business leaders and an opportunity for interaction with members of the U.S. Congressional Black Caucus. Malachi also created an award-winning nonprofit organization called Goals for Justice, which acts to get more teens engaged and involved in social activism, which he believes provides one of the best opportunities to make a difference in this world. Malachi hopes to attend a four-year college and earn his MBA. Malachi Stoll. Students in grade 9 through 12 participated in Clarksburg High School Dance Marathon to support the Childhood Brain Tumor Foundation. The Dance Marathon group was formed in 2012 in response to a tragedy that impacted the entire school. Sam Moore, a Clarksburg student, died from a brain tumor in August of 2012. Although devastated by his passing, a group of Sam's friends organized a student group to help provide fundraising and educational awareness of childhood brain cancer. The event they organized was a dance marathon, with all proceeds donated to the Childhood Brain Tumor Foundation. The event required students to solicit sponsorships and dance for 26.2 hours. The students raised nearly $25,000 for the worthy cause and in Sam's memory. The group recently established rules and procedures to ensure that this special event will continue on an annual basis in the school and the community for many years to come. Again, Dance Marathon, Clarksburg High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Humanitarian Award is presented each year by the county executive and our committee to an individual who, through acts of service and commitment, has enhanced and profoundly impacted the lives and well-being of members of our community. This year's recipients are Mr. Michael Williams, social studies teacher at Walter Johnson High School, and Anhar Kareem, a senior at Northwest High School. Michael Williams. In addition to his teaching duties, Michael Williams, along with another colleague, serve as volunteer coordinators of the Minority Scholars Program, MSP. The Minority Scholars Program began in 2005 with the goal of improving the academic performance of African Americans and Latino students at Walter Johnson High School. To help students achieve their goals, they receive mentoring, academic support, and recognition, and are encouraged to take an active role in the community. 5 years ago, under Mr. Williams' leadership, the program spread to other schools in the county, including feeder middle schools and other area high schools, including Clarksburg, BCC, and Wooten High School. The program focus recently shifted to include the importance of leadership in the schools and community. Mr. Williams believes that all students can succeed and that all schools and all educators have an obligation to help students achieve their fullest potential. Mr. Michael Williams. Anhar Kareem. Anhar is president of the Montgomery County Muslim Student Association. This group is an organization that combines the efforts of Muslim student associations from all over the county. This organization plans various activities and is involved in student issue advocacy of the Montgomery County Board of Education. Anhar has testified in front of the board, along with community leaders and elected officials, and helped create the Equity for Eid campaign. The campaign is calling for the Muslim holiday of Eid to be given a school holiday just as Jewish and Christian holidays are given. For his efforts, he was quoted in the Washington Post and the New York Daily News. Under Anhar's leadership, his organization has helped build stronger communities among the Muslim and non-Muslim students throughout the county. And he has helped build bonds of friendship throughout these organizations across religious lines between schools. Anhar is described as a gentle presence, respected and admired by all his classmates, making a lasting impact with his values and ideals about his culture, his faith, and his belief in the positive attributes of all humanity. Anhar Kareem. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank all the teachers, school staff, and administrators, and parents, and community members for your nominations and participation in this awards program. And we invite all of you to be part of this program next year. We'd like to also very quickly thank our awards committee and also invite members of our Human Rights Commission to please stand and be recognized at this point in time. Our Human Rights Commission, please stand and be recognized very quickly. Human Rights, stand and be recognized very quickly. Lastly, we invite you to look in your program for the Civil Rights Tour coming up again the 31st of March through April the 5th is in your program. Come and be a part of this historic tour to learn about the Civil Rights Movement. Be a part of it by learning it and seeing it. On February 1st, we have a joint forum with the City of Rockville Human Rights Commission looking at the question, could a Trayvon Martin type incident happen in Montgomery County? A critical look at race relations here in our county. February 1st at the EOB, the Executive Office Building Auditorium, 1 to 4 on February 1st. Be there and be a part of making our county even better and better and better. Thank you.
Now, we're about to wrap things up, and I know you were sitting out there thinking, I have heard every kind of music possible. I can't believe they don't have a Trinidadian steel drum band. We got an app for that, too. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me now in welcoming to the stage, Lara. Is that wonderful? Is that beautiful? Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we've had a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Reverend Courtney Miller, who is a senior pastor of Norbeck Community Church. He will offer our benediction tonight.
Let us honor the reverence of the divine, the creator, our sustainer, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path of social justice. Keep us in the path of equality. Never let us leave your presence. Keep the beat ever pumping in our heart. The beat that says, walk together, children. Don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting someday. Now, as we go down from this place, let us walk hand in hand with a seed deep in our hearts that says we shall overcome one day. Now, may the God of peace, who brought again from the grave, the Son of the great I Am. Forever we remember the legacy of the drum major for justice. We have, we shall, and we will overcome one day. And it's in his name, in his son's name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen.
Thank you for that, Pastor. And now, before we wrap up this afternoon's celebration, some final thoughts from the Honorable Isaiah Leggett, Montgomery County Executive.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just the last closing moment, just to again acknowledge your presence here today. We've tried to provide a program that is reflective of our great diversity, but keep it in the spirit of Dr. King's legacy and his dream and hope for this nation. We hope that if you enjoyed the program, you'll be back again next year. You'll tell your friends and neighbors about it. We continue to look to you in terms of inspiration of what we do and how we provided this program. Any ideas or suggestions that you would like to have for us to consider, please contact the committee. Again, let me acknowledge and thank the committee for its work, for our many sponsors, and for all of those who helped organize this great event. Thank you. We'll have a closing song, and we will exit the place, and hopefully the snow and the inclement weather that they're talking about will hold back a little bit longer. But please, for those of you in the county and for those of you who are working in and around Montgomery County, you can get all of the alerts by going to Alert Montgomery or contact us directly at 311, and we'll provide information for you, and you'll have information, hopefully in a timely fashion, to make appropriate decisions for tomorrow. Thank you so very much for coming out. Please join us. Mayor Katz, come forward.
I would like to do a special introduction and ask you to give it up for Miss Rachel Reed, our program chair.
And as the committee takes the stage, would you all please rise and join us in singing "We Shall Overcome."
We shall Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.